where I see us today, we know that testing is up. It has doubled since mid-May. Our positive cases are up. They've doubled since mid-June. And throughout this, our hospital and ICU capacity has remained safe and stable. And this has always been talked about as sort of a lag, the luring boogeyman behind it's always, well, just wait for the lag to happen. And with our hospital and ICU capacity, even with help on our neighbors in Imperial and in Mexico, we've still been able to maintain those capacities at safe and stable rates. Only 15% of our total hospitalizations countywide are COVID cases. Hospitalizations are up. We've added about 100 more COVID patients, from about 350 to 450 in our countywide system of hospitals since the testing doubled. But more people are now surviving the virus. We talked about the fatality rate has decreased. Our median age for testing positive now has decreased from people in their 60s to those in their 40s. While the median age for death, thankfully, it's decreasing, has still remained at age 78. We do know what we do know is we know our most vulnerable. We know how we have to test, but we've learned and now know better how to treat. And even at double the amount of cases, we know that more are surviving. Even at the doubling of cases, those testing positive are still in the single digits. So you've got over a 90% chance of not getting the virus. You're even less likely to be hospitalized. And if you're under 70 years old by a Stanford study, you've got less than 0.04% of dying from the virus. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't disregard or stop using into the safety provisions that the health officers are asking us to do. We should continue that. But while we're opening up the businesses and the economy, we're better at protecting our vulnerable now, and we're absolutely better than at treating those with the virus. COVID-19 is when I first asked the question, where'd the 19 come from? It was for the year 2019. We're now already halfway through 2020. This virus is not going away. We're going to have to be in this for the long haul, and it's something that we're all going to have to kind of learn to live with, the virus. We need to keep people working, earning an income, and providing for themselves and their families. And we need to figure out how to open businesses and keep them open. The seesawing of people's businesses and livelihood is devastating to businesses. When I asked earlier about why 3 weeks, is this, well, the extra week was more an added precaution. Well, that can mean the life or death of a business, a week's period of time, especially if you're still having to pay high rents and things like that. The vast majority of businesses have complied with the rules. They've practiced the social distancing, they've required the masks, and now they, unfortunately, are lumped in and experiencing a second shutdown. And I feel for them. I really don't, I'm not convinced that it's warranted that we just do this, sector-wide shutdown. We currently have 15% unemployment, and now today, with today's action is brought down to us by the state, we're going to have more people joining the ranks of the unemployment. So I'm not aware of a single outbreak from a brewery or a winery or even the zoo. It's not going to come to anybody's surprise, but based on what I'm seeing, I see a need to continue to protect the vulnerable. I see a need to continue to take the precautions such as social distancing and sanitation, and including wearing the masks. I don't see a need to close a sector of businesses that most individual businesses are doing the right thing. I mean, we've all been to a restaurant, we've all gone out to places, and we've seen the best practices. And to shut those businesses down now after taking all the precautions, while they have been keeping their customers and employees safe, I think is a travesty. The state needs more thoughtful and targeted. The state needs a more thoughtful and targeted approach. I think the heavy-handedness from the state is too severe, and the businesses again are really going to struggle to survive.